and welcome back to Pihoa Network. Today, we are journeying to a country with a rich tapestry of history and a tumultuous post-independence era. We are covering Libya, often called the gateway to the Sahara due to its vast desert landscape stretching deep into the heart of Africa. Libya is a country in North Africa, bounded by the Mediterranean Sea to the north, Egypt to the east, Sudan to the southeast, Niger and Chad to the south, Algeria to the west, and Tunisia in the northwest. The scramble for Africa by European powers had, among other areas, shown interest in the Ottoman Empire. By that time, the Sanusiya Islamic order had created a sense of unity in large parts of Libya. Established in 1843, the order was centered around Cyrenaica. With the support from the Ottoman Empire, the Sanusiya were able to resist French influence advancing from Chad. However, a successful Italian invasion of 1911 led to occupation following the Turkish-Italian War. Italian occupation was resisted by Tripolitania and the Sanusiya based in Cyrenaica. Resistance was finally subdued with the rise of fascist Italy in 1922. Sanusiya continued fighting until their leader, Umar al-Mukhtar, was captured and executed in 1931. Infrastructural development followed, which attracted Italian settlers. Italian Libya was adopted in 1934 as the official name of the colony. Massive destruction during the Second World War preceded mass exodus of settlers after the defeat of Italy in the war. The fate of Italian Libya, which constituted 3 provinces, namely Tripolitania, Cyrenaica, and Fezzan, became an issue of debate after the war. Between 1943 and 1951, Tripolitania and Cyrenaica were put under British military administration, while Fezzan was controlled by the French. A UN General Assembly finally resolved that Libya should become independent not later than 1st January 1952. On 24th of December 1951, the territory became independent as United Kingdom of Libya under King Idris I. A constitution was formulated the same year and Islam was proclaimed as the state religion. The kingdom joined the Arab League in 1953 and was in good relations with the West. In 1956, Libya denied landing rights to British troops during the Suez Crisis. The discovery of significant oil reserves in 1959 led to economic transformation. The government was able to fund its services without relying on aid. King Idris did not rebuke Israel during the 1967 Arab-Israeli War. This, among other reasons, resulted in his overthrow through a military coup of 1969 led by Muammar Gaddafi. This pan-Arab regime broke ties with the West and nationalized assets. It supported liberation organizations in Africa and the Arab world. In 1977, Libya was renamed as Great Socialist People's Libyan Arab Jamahiriya. Power was transferred to the General People's Committee, with Gaddafi being a symbolic figurehead. In early 1977, Gaddafi started providing military aid to Chadian rebels. As the conflict escalated, Libya invaded northern Chad. Towards the end of that year, Libya also fought a border war with Egypt. Meanwhile, the country was making great economic strides, achieving one of the highest per capita incomes in Africa. It was debt-free, with literacy and life expectancy greatly improved. The Revolutionary Women Formation was created to empower women. Relationship with the United States of America, US, deteriorated in the 1980s. the US government accused Gaddafi of aiding international terrorism. This accusation precipitated the 1986 US raid in Tripoli and Benghazi. Tensions escalated between both countries into the 1990s. The Libyan-Chadian conflict in the 1970s was centered around the control of mineral-rich Aouzou Strip along their common borders. US and France got involved in support of Chad, and Libya lost the war. The issue was resolved in 1994, and Gaddafi relinquished his claims. Through US influence, the UN imposed economic sanctions against Libya, alleging its involvement in the downing of a civilian aircraft over Lockerbie, Scotland in 1988. Libya finally turned over the suspects to face justice. This led to the lifting of international sanctions in 2003. Libya also pledged to stop producing chemical weapons. Within Africa, Gaddafi was instrumental towards the formation of African Union in 2002. In 2008, he declared himself King of Kings of Africa. A wave of uprisings occurred in the Arab world during 2010. Popularly known as the Arab Spring, it reached Libya in 2011. Benghazi was the epicenter from where it spread across the country. Gaddafi referred to the protesters as traitors and called upon his supporters to fight back. It gradually evolved into armed rebellion, leading to civil war. Pressure upon Gaddafi to step down was backed by UN sanctions. In March the same year, a Transitional National Council (TNC) was set up in Benghazi by the rebels. An international coalition led by the US, France, and the United Kingdom conducted air strikes to enforce a no-fly zone. NATO took charge of operations from the coalition in March 2011. The poorly equipped rebels continued advancing towards Tripoli while diplomatic efforts intensified. Gaddafi was finally captured and killed in October by the rebels. With the fall of Gaddafi, the country degenerated into chaos. This has resulted in absence of a central authority that can unify the nation. Islamic extremists began arriving in 2014 to fill the vacuum. Meanwhile, various efforts are being made to try and establish an internationally recognized government in Libya, with little success so far. From Italian occupation, Libya humbled itself to Western powers for economic reasons. It later redeemed itself after the oil discovery. Gaddafi made prudent use of oil revenue towards development. Since his overthrow, Libya has become a dysfunctional entity. Thank you for watching this episode of Pihoa Network. If you enjoyed this journey through Libya's post-independence history, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.